So I get this question pretty frequently. People that are trying to get into the airlines, try to become a flight attendant, wondering how I did it. I was really interested in this really as a single parent with 3 children and no child support. So I was just trying to make money. And now that I think about it, it wouldn't have worked out anyway. And it didn't. It was Southwest that flew me out to their main office, which back in the 90s was in Phoenix. I don't know if it's still there. But the training they said was going to be in Houston or Dallas, whatever, 6 weeks unpaid training. And I thought to myself, well, I'm having trouble making the rent now. Who's going to pay the rent? Who's going to watch my children? I mean, their dad was just like so out of the picture, and it was just me. I had turned that down. And then a few years later, in the later 90s, I think it was, or early 2000s, American Eagle came around. And that was, I think that was 8 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks, again, unpaid training, also in Texas. Still wasn't ready for that. So that went by the wayside. It just wasn't going to work out then. It just has to be the right time, right place for you. And you'll know when you can afford to even try out for the airlines. You have to have some financial stability, whether you're going to live with your parents. If you're really young, that would be good. If you can stay with relatives, I don't know if friends would be able to float you for that long. I was very fortunate to have my husband, who has always been the main breadwinner. You know, I was in a situation where getting older and wanting to put something away for the future. I wanted that flexibility where I could drop trips, add trips like the airlines would give me. So when I saw in the news that my airlines was hiring, and because they were opening a base where I live, in my town, I was thrilled. Hopefully I wouldn't be trained too far, and as it turned out, we trained in Orlando. I did have the option of going to Denver, but I was thinking raft exercises and just some outdoor things you have to do for airline training. I didn't want that weather. Also, it was 2 weeks earlier. They were going to move up my date if I went to Denver, even though it's closer to where I live. I already had all my ducks in a row for that particular thing. I had hair appointments, nail appointments, and, things that I had to get done around the house, making sure that the dog was cared for and things were in place. And that I couldn't have moved it up in 2 weeks. It just would have been too much for me. Also, they have a training center, so I didn't know if they were going to be staying in a hotel. And okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm one of those girls that have to have the amenities. I need a gym, even though I didn't use it when I was in training. It was good to have. Dry cleaning service. You need that. So let's talk about training. Once you get your CJO, the contingent job offer, then you start making your plans on what you should pack. And I watched every single training video preparation I could find on YouTube, and there were some great ones. So I took all of their advice and ended up bringing 2 humongous, the biggest Samsonites that were allowed in the plane, which I think were like 30 inches or something. 2 of those suckers, plus a carry-on bag that was just stuffed full. I even went out and bought a brand new laptop computer so that I would have for their CPD training, which is supposed to be computer-based training, which it turns out they didn't have. So I brought that laptop really for nothing. I ended up using it for watching shows in my room because hotel channels, are very limited. Not that I had much time while I was there. Training is very intense. So let's talk about the things that you need for training. So bring enough shirts and pants. I would say we had to wear black and whites, white top, black bottoms, but whatever your airline says you have to bring enough that it'll last you. If you could do like a quick freshen up, or if you can afford the dry cleaner, that'd be better. You can probably limit yourself a number of bras because those can be hand washed if you really have to. I went to Victoria's Secret and I picked out 30 pairs of brand new underwear, and I brought that with me. It's 30 pairs of socks. I had 2 pairs of jeans and 2 or 3 pairs of sweats, a couple of pairs of pajamas, because you don't know what kind of climate you're going to be in. Even though you're based where your training is, you still have the air conditioning to deal with, heating issues, weather issues, that type of thing. Sundays is the only day you'll get off from class. And that's the day you really need to use for your studying, because almost always the written exams are almost always on the Monday. So you use that for studying. I didn't want to spend it in a laundry room, sharing it with other hotel guests, and not to mention my class. Even though I brought a roll of quarters and some laundry stuff just in case I needed to. Like I said, I brought everything. You want little meals. I lived in like those, whatever you could buy, like an AM, PM, 7-Eleven type thing. I brought with me these little boxes of tuna and crackers already in there, and I lived on that quite a bit. That was my lunch. Cold Chef Boyardee macaroni and cheese, cold, no microwave. Did it. I mean, you're going to be so hungry that you're not going to be picky because you're just so damn hungry and you only have 5 minutes to eat. It happens a lot. I didn't use all the cosmetics I thought I was going to use, mostly because I didn't have the time. I would study all night, and then I'd have to be asleep by around 9 or 10. And I need that hour between 9 and 10 to watch Hulu or something on my iPad or laptop so I could unwind and go to bed. Then I would set my alarm for 5 in the morning, and I would get up all the earlier and study from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. so it's fresh in my mind. And then I would, boom, go just blow it, just take the test. And it's exhausting and it's an intense thing. Get off the coffee. I got off of the coffee probably about a year or so before this happened, just as a coincidence. And I replaced it with those airborne tablets, which I always tell you guys about. Those effervescent tablets are just wonderful. That feeling of a hot beverage, it still is very, very soothing for me. And I was the only one that in the training class that didn't get sick, not once. So there's something to that. Plus, I had trouble sleeping at night. I had to pick up my prescription of sleeping pills just to make sure I could sleep at night because I was so worried about the test, so worried about the next exam and the one after that and the one after that I would keep myself up all night. Make sure you have your prescriptions. I didn't have room for a jacket. I had like a small, like a sweater. Actually, I think it was this one. I had just a little, what's this, Under Armour kind of a, it's just a little jacket. I bought a bunch of singles. You will tip people. You'll have to tip your shuttle drivers. You'll have to tip if you do any room service. I brought way too much stuff. But at the same time, I wanted for nothing. I had everything I needed. People were out. Do you have any scissors? Do you have any 3-hole punch? Do you have a stapler? That was me. I had it all. I brought everything. Little bag is everything. Paper clips and binder clips. And some of these videos told you to bring a lot of notebook paper. I don't think I used one piece. Not one. Don't need it. They give you all these PowerPoints, and there's places to take notes on the PowerPoint presentations. And I know what I used was those post-its, one with the lines on it, or the online. I bought a couple of those, and you're going to start diagramming things. You will need a lot of those. Bring the post-its. I had them all different colors and shapes and sizes, and lined, unlined, everything, because you will use your ironing board to diagram, and they call it a pickle. It's the outline of it inside of a plane, but you'll see. I think all the airlines do that. It makes it easy for you, believe me. I'm big on bringing your own pillowcases. It feels like home. It helps you sleep easier. Just bring one and make it a bright color so it doesn't get mixed in or it's something you won't forget about. Mine was like a maroonish red color, and so it stood out against the white pillowcases, and I remembered to take that home with me. That's important. All of my charging wires were pink, fluorescent green, things that lighted up, all of that stuff, because I know the tricks. I used to work in a hotel casino for many years, and I think that's part of the problem. People bring white charger cords, you kind of forget, it blends in, you don't see it standing out. Mine flash or they're bright pink and things like that stood out, so I knew to take those with me. I didn't want to leave those behind. Same thing with the charging port itself, not that square white one that we all use for iPhones. Mine was like green or purple or something like that. A couple pairs of glasses if you wear glasses. The airline's going to be strict with what color you have most of the time. Mine wanted black, so I had a black one and I had a purple one. Socks. You need them for the raft exercise. You will need socks. Now you can't wear shoes on the raft, so that's their main thing. Jeans, I got ones that were comfortable instead of cute, because they weren't big on ripped or distressed jeans or skinny jeans, skinny leggings, and no leggings at all. So mine were very plain. I think they were Lee jeans or something. You don't need all the heels and dress. I wore flats the whole time. It was much, much better. Of course, I was also nursing a foot injury. Make sure you have all those things. But the most important thing I think you need to bring is an empty credit card. Clear off a credit card. Clear off like about $500 at least. I think I brought 2 that were just zero balance and high limits. That's what you need. That'll get you around for everything you need. That's pretty much it, and the airline's going to tell you what you need. Try and read. They'll have in-flight services guidelines. It'll tell you what you can wear on your observation flights, which I don't know how helpful they were, the observation flights. I mean, I helped do beverage service. It's not the same as sitting in a jump seat. Also watch you ate. There was actually somebody in my class, when we went to the mock-up, he didn't fit in a jump seat, so he got sent home. So I'm just going to wrap this up because it's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. So those of you that want to know how I did it, well, that's how it happened to me. It kind of fell in my lap. I wasn't necessarily looking for it, but I thought, I was already doing interviews around town. Wasn't having a whole lot of luck. My airlines actually was hiring also, so I thought I'd just give it a shot. Didn't think I would get very far. I was shocked after the 8-hour process. It's a long, long process. Bring food, bring a granola bar or something with you because you will starve. Oh, it's horrible. But don't pee, because if you make it through, they do on the spot job offers, and you'll have to pee in a cup anyway. Just basically, that's how it happened for me. Keep watching. I didn't apply online. I didn't do the traditional route that everybody else did. They happened to come into town. They happened to be holding they said interviews. I call them auditions. And it is what it is. And hopefully you guys will get it. If you have any more questions, just put it in the comments below, and I promise to get back to each of you. Have a great day. See you in the skies. Bye.